So, thank you all for coming, and hopefully you were able to bring the list of things that were here. The list can be described as a Clint Eastwood movie, as the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with item number 1. Before we start, and you can sit down, by the way. When you speak, we're going to dispense with the typical GBN up and down because it's going to get cumbersome. I'm going to ask each person a question. When I ask you a question, I need to appoint one person to be our secretary, please. One-word or two-word answers to these in most cases. Question number 1 for you is, who is your greatest competition? Shimshon, who's your greatest competition? Charlie Cable. Rachel, who was your greatest competitor?
Myself at the moment.
Okay, good. Matthew?
TCS.
Charlie.
What's that?
TCS.
And okay, great. Charlie, since you were named, who's your greatest competitor?
Unclear.
Unclear. A little foggy?
A little foggy.
Have you reflected on it yet?
Yes, but
Okay. Does everybody have their mirrors?
No. I thought I had it.
All right. Can I ask you all to take out your mirrors, please?
And having a shoe shine.
Okay. There's one challenge to being a male person, which is that my mirror has one of those indecipherable clips.
You're not 4 years old.
I'm not 4 years old and I can't figure out the flipping mirror. Okay. I need help from somebody who can help me to open my mirror. Well, let me borrow yours. Okay, does everybody have their mirrors?
No.
No. All right, so those of you who do not have mirrors, we are going to share. What I'd like you to do is to look into your mirror. Okay. How many of you have seen what you see in that mirror before?
What?
How many of you have seen what you just saw in this mirror at a time in your life before? Okay. Right. Rachel, I'd like you to please stand up and look straight at my friend Shmuel, who's going to flip the camera around. And please repeat your answer. When I asked you who was your biggest competitor, what did you say?
Myself.
Okay. You are 150% correct. Your most challenging competitor is a person that we each see every morning in the mirror. So let me ask, why do you think that that's the case, and why would I say that? The answers can be longer than one word this time. So, Eric, please.
Because we don't like rejection.
That's one good answer. That's very true. Who else has an answer similar?
Being motivated enough to provide the acting distract and discipline to provide, your product or service loaded effectively.
Okay, that's a very good answer. Shimshon, please.
Because we've been dumb enough to accept all the things that everyone has always been telling us for our whole lives, and we sort of repeat that back to ourselves instead of doing what we're supposed to do.
Conditioning and scripting.
And what we should do, I said.
Conditioning response.
Yeah.
Because understanding yourself and your strengths and weaknesses may seem easy, but oftentimes it's very difficult to get a clear picture.
Okay, now, yes, please.
Because empowerment comes with responsibility and commitment.
Say that again, please. Could you stand up and say that again? Shoot.
Empowerment comes with responsibility and commitment.
Terrific. Yes, sir.
my name is Yoav Gedali. I'm new. We create obstacles for ourselves and thereby limit the progression of our future.
Thank you very much. By the way, Yogi, thank you very much for interesting conversations on the teal over the hot. It was very nice. It's nice to see you this morning. We've now identified one of the biggest challenges that we all face, which is that we are our own worst enemies when it comes to selling. So let's take a couple of minutes and examine this. So what I'd like you to do is look to the person to your right and speak to that person and ask them what is their best asset as a salesperson. And ask each other, take about a minute.
How does it all right? Yeah.
Everybody's first to the
You're
right.
back.
First person to the right doesn't work.
All right, turn to your left. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let me ask you a question. How many of you are here as a result, directly or indirectly, of the following question? What are you doing Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock? Okay, a significant number of you are here because of what are you doing Wednesday morning at 8 o'clock? Now, for those people who are thinking about selling, I already knew where I was going, because most of the time the answer I'm going to get is nothing, which gives me the opportunity to explain to the person why it is to their benefit to join this wonderful group of people. So far, there's been exactly one exception of people who didn't think that was such a hot idea, but that's okay. So, when you are selling, your closing of your sale begins when? What did you say?
The first word.
He said with the first word. Who else has a different answer?
The last word.
Very good. Charlie?
When you decide who to talk to.
Very good. These are all very good answers. The answer that...
When you decide who to talk to.
When you decide who to talk to is a very good place to start. So when you've decided who to talk to, you have decided already that you want to close the sale. Is that correct? Have there been occasions when people have started a conversation when you want to sell to someone and within the first few minutes of that, you've decided to change your mind? Has that happened? Who has that happened to?
So not to sell?
You've talked to someone and you said, oh my goodness, I do not need to buy a lifelong headache or a second spouse. Great. That's another very important thing to know when to shut up. Okay, let's move on. You all brought your index cards, is that correct? All right, for those of you who didn't bring index cards, don't be shocked. Hank brought paper. So pass them around. What I'd like you to do is, as we continue this, is to write one positive thing about a person in this room, put their name on it, and when you have written it, ask the people around you to pass it to that person and let them have the card that you've written for them. Now, one of the things that we can do to improve our abilities to sell, and therefore to get to that key point where we're going to shut up, is to use positive reinforcement. So when you say something positive to someone who is a prospective client, you've broken down a tremendous wall. So let's say I was going to speak to Elad and suggest that he uses credit card processing. And what I would say to Elad is, Elad, you're one of the brightest and most diligent kablanim in Israel. The work you do, from what your clients tell us, is wonderful. When you want to increase your business by a third, it's to your benefit to take credit cards because it will put more money in your pocket. Is there anything that was said to, and Elad, let me ask you, can you argue with anything that was just said to you?
No.
Good. So the idea when you're selling and you're going to get to that closing question is to create an atmosphere of camaraderie, collegiality, and positive, and to take and throw away all of the negative things that you think about selling. When you consider a sale, in the vast majority of cases, both people involved win. The person who made the purchase won because they got excellent goods or services from you. You win because you've done business and made another client happy, got another positive referral source, and most importantly, been able to put bread on your table and feed your family. So the idea of the exercise this morning is to break down the idea that selling is a bad thing. How are we doing with the cards? Are we getting there? Okay. I need someone's help. I need someone to ask me, what are the 18 things I hate about selling? So who will volunteer? Yeah. Yogi, please.
What are the 18 things you hate about selling?
Absolutely, positively.